Hey there, viewers! Some people indulge in animal-based foods. Others consider it inhumane to even think about eating an animal. Whichever side you're on, meat and eggs are undeniably good sources of protein. Having said that, most people who eat animal-based food also eat other things. But what about those who only eat animal-based foods? This may sound like the antithesis of veganism, but the carnivore diet is real and only gaining popularity for its mental and physical benefits. What are the positives? Can it really reduce signs of depression? How about the negatives? Will you get less vitamins? We're talking all that and more. Let's begin with some of the basics. How to follow a carnivorous diet. When following a strict carnivorous diet, you would have to eliminate all plant-based food. This means no fruits or vegetables. Foods to eat would include eggs, pork, beef, lamb, turkey, clams, sardines, salmon, cow's milk, cheese, and more. Since most of this food doesn't digest easily, you'll have to drink a lot of water. On top of that, you can't drink tea or coffee because they're all plant-based. You can't even have chocolate. You'll also have to make sure you're eating well. Considering that animal-based foods take longer to settle, 3 or 4 meals a day would suffice. As far as serving size is concerned, you can follow the big breakfast, average lunch, and poor dinner theory. Just like every other lifestyle change, being carnivorous comes with a lot of benefits. Number 1. It helps against depression. Red meat and eggs contain a healthy amount of vitamin B6. The body uses B6 to create emotion and mood-regulating substances like serotonin and dopamine. One study showed that a lack of B6 in your body can lead to depression. Number 2. It boosts muscle mass. These foods are a good source of protein, one of the major functions of building muscle mass. If you manage to eat an adequate amount, it will promote your muscle growth. This can be very useful if you're thinking about getting into strength training. Apart from that, if you're into bodybuilding, eating protein is mandatory. We also did a video on protein deficiency. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell to stay up to date on all our latest Bestie content. Number 3. It strengthens bones. This is another function of proteins found in meat. Along with being one of the major factors of building muscle mass, proteins are very important for your bone health. This includes animal-based protein. Many claim animal-based protein may increase the body's acid load, but according to one study, people who eat more meat are likely to maintain bone mass at any age. More importantly, it's easier to avail animal-based protein than any other type. Eating meat can also be beneficial for women with high risk of osteoporosis. Sorry vegans, it looks like meat is important. Number 4. It prevents anemia. Let's discuss vitamin B12. One of the major functions of B12 is that it helps form red blood cells in your body. Without it, red blood cells increase in size, forming an oval shape. What happens when they become large? After increasing in size, the red blood cells are unable to move from the bone marrow to the bloodstream at the required rate. As a result, your body doesn't have enough oxygen to transfer to vital organs. When this condition worsens, it becomes anemia. You'll feel weak and tired after waking up from sleep. You can avoid this by simply consuming meat and eggs, although preventing anemia isn't the only thing B12 is good for. Number 5. You will have healthier nerve cells. This is once again due to vitamin B12, which is also responsible for the development of your nervous system. It also comes into play when keeping the nerve cells healthy. How? Well, by aiding in the process of cell division. This is why your nerves become weaker if you have vitamin B12 deficiency. The vitamin B6 in meat collaborates with vitamin B12. In other words, meat can keep your nerves healthy. That's quite a combo. Number 1. You may get less vitamin C. Make no mistake, animal-based food contains a good amount of vitamin C, but once you cook the meat, it loses most of this nutrient. Vitamin C deficiency isn't something you should take lightly. This vitamin is responsible for your muscle and bone health, as well as your immune system. The lack of vitamin C can cause weakness and a poor immune system. Number 2. Your heart may be at risk. Meat, eggs, and milk aren't necessarily the most calorie or fat-free food. As a matter of fact, eggs and most meats contain saturated fat. This can increase your cholesterol levels. It will also increase the risk of heart problems. High cholesterol levels are usually linked to heart conditions. It also contains a ton of sodium. The purpose of this sodium is to keep the meat fresh for consumption. Sadly, sodium can also contribute to hypertension, which increases the risk of strokes as well as cardiovascular disease. Of course, all this could be negated through proper water consumption. You'll also have to get rid of the salt in processed meat before you consume it. Number 3. You won't have enough fiber. Sorry to butcher your feelings, but after hearing this, it'll become very difficult for you to follow any animal-based diet. Why do we need fiber? Dietary fiber is responsible for helping to slow the process of digestion. This promotes gut health. You can argue that too much fiber isn't good for anyone, but you still need it for a healthier digestive system. More importantly, dietary fiber is important in balancing the bacteria in your gut. If your gut is not healthy, it could lead to a number of problems. This includes diarrhea and constipation. Number 4. You may end up with a weak immune system. This would mean your body's defense mechanism isn't working as it should. Instead, it'll become vulnerable, with microorganisms causing infections. Oh, and guess which part of your body will most likely get it? Your gut. You have a lack of good bacteria to thank for this diet. There's nothing wrong with going carnivorous, but it isn't necessarily the healthiest option. Your body needs other foods as well. In many cases, we could say that the omnivorous diet is the best for survival. Number 5. It may not suit everyone. Someone with kidney problems or other digestion-related issues may not adapt to this diet. Similarly, there are those who are sensitive to cholesterol. These people need to be careful about the kind of food they're eating. Similarly, people who are lactose intolerant won't be able to consume dairy products. They would have to consume food that comes from plants or suffer deficiencies. Apart from that, people who don't like a restrictive diet and prefer to enjoy both animal and plant-based foods wouldn't want a part of this. The thing about seafood. Make no mistake, seafood comes from aquatic animals. The only reason we have included them separately is because of omega-3 fatty acids. These acids help in the process of digestion in many similar ways. As a matter of fact, unlike fiber, it doesn't need to slow down the digestion process to keep your gut healthy. So if you really want to go for it, do that. Don't let one point hold you back. Another interesting thing is that omega-3 fatty acids also help to absorb vitamins. Sadly, there is no animal-based food that can keep its vitamin C level intact, especially after being cooked. Alright, now let's have a look at some examples of carnivorous meals. Number 1. Breakfast. Since breakfast is the most important meal of the day, you can try something that's heavy in nutrients. How about poached eggs with bacon and sausages that have been buttered properly? You can go for pork ribs as they contain lots of protein. Number 2. Lunch. A steak, roast, or barbecued meat are all great options for lunch. You can also try a cheese omelet and grilled chicken for that added boost of protein. If you're feeling more adventurous, roasted clams, grilled prawns, or crabs are all good options as animal-based foods. Finally, we move on to number 3, dinner. This meal should be light. A hamburger patty with bacon would do the job. You can also make some boiled egg to go along with it. Tuna or sardines are also wise choices. So, are you willing to try the carnivore diet? Have you already gone animal-based? Do you know anyone who's done it successfully? Let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. Enjoyed this video? Hit like, share, and subscribe to Bestie. Wait! What kind of bestie are we if we don't tell you about our other awesome videos? Go ahead, choose the left or right video, and enjoy.